All right, folks. We got Bitcoin coming in at 21,776, pretty much where we were yesterday, or at least last night, after that big old juicy dump from the whole SEC staking news. A lot of your altcoins are down as well, of course, but nothing too crazy. We're kind of hanging out. Solana down 7%. Most of your altcoins are down between 4 and 10%. So pretty standard stuff for this dump. Like I said last night, what do I expect from this? I mean, I wouldn't expect much further in this dump unless it changes sentiment, which it kind of has. Sentiment's kind of turning a little bit more negative, which could bring this dump, a little bit lower before we kind of rebound. Bitcoin crypto investors are such pussies. Like the littlest thing sets them off. Bitcoin and Ether tumble as regulatory storm cloud gathers. I mean, is it really all that surprising that the SEC doesn't want exchanges like offering people interest to store their crypto after everything that has happened with FTX and Celsius and BlockFi and geez, you name it over the last year? Is it really that surprising? No, we all knew this was going to come to an end. It's not the end of the world, folks. You can still stake your crypto by yourself and probably make even more money than these exchanges are giving you. Don't we all kind of agree that these exchanges are all kind of dirty anyway, and we shouldn't really be keeping our money on the exchanges? Well, this basically just motivates people to keep their money off the exchanges. And you also have to remember, this is just the United States. And, I'm watching a lot of YouTubers. They're so mad at the SEC. The SEC chairman's a fraud, blah, 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 blah. The funny thing is, if the SEC doesn't go after people staking right now, okay, and next year a bunch of exchanges blow up or they go under because so many people were staking and that money gets lost because the exchanges were doing things they weren't supposed to be doing with that crypto, all these same YouTubers are going to come out and say, where was the SEC? The SEC should have been protecting people. Where were they? So a lot of these crypto YouTubers, for one, they're idiots. Their backgrounds are they were former crack addicts. They worked at a store. I'm just being honest, folks. They worked at a store. They worked at a warehouse. They were living in their mom's basement. They were selling used cars. They were in jail. You can just name it. Like 90% of these crypto YouTubers and influencers, their background is like horrible. So they have no idea what they're talking about. The only thing they care about with the SEC is the SEC coming out with news that basically pumps their crypto. They could care less about crypto or the actual markets or what happens or your safety or the SEC looking out for your safety. All they want to do is pump their bags, which I can kind of relate to because I want to pump my bags as well. But anybody with any common sense knew this staking was going to end. In fact, I was staking some money on Binance.us, and I even was telling people like a couple months ago, this isn't going to last very long. So yeah, you can't stake on a US-based exchange. That's going to get shut down. It's going to get shut down because eventually what's going to happen is if everybody's allowed to stake on US-based exchanges, something's going to happen and people are going to lose all their money. I mean, this is crypto. And then everybody's going to come out and blame the SEC. So people wanted a hands-off approach, right? People wanted a hands-off approach from the SEC for the last couple of years. So the SEC really didn't do anything other than sue a few little crypto exchanges. And by them taking a hands-off approach, you had FTX collapse, BlockFi, Celsius, you name it, everything collapsed. People lost billions of dollars, and it basically destroyed crypto credibility. So now the SEC, like I said in my video last night, the SEC is coming on a little bit stronger, and you really can't blame them. And them coming after these exchanges for offering staking is not the end of the world for crypto. Folks, if you can't get your 3 or 4% staking your Cardano on Binance or Coinbase or Kraken, just stake it on the Cardano deadly-less wallet or whatever the hell it's called. If you can't stake your Theta on Binance anymore, stake it on the Theta. Stake it on a Theta node. I mean, it's so easy. There's so many other ways to stake. That's how you're supposed to be staking anyway. You're not supposed to be staking on these exchanges. It's a service that they offer where they basically make money by having you stake because they take your money or your coins, and they do God knows what with it, and they give you a small percentage. It's no different than like what BlockFi was doing in Celsius. We just trust Coinbase and Binance.us a little bit more, but they could be just as dirty. I'm not saying they are, but there is risk involved with staking on an exchange. I mean, there's also risk with staking off the exchange. When you start staking, you are embarking on a little bit more risk because you are giving your coins out, unless you're on Cardano where the coins don't really leave your wallet. But this is not, so now the SEC has come out and said, okay, this is a warning to other crypto firms. So what are you going to see now? You're going to see other crypto firms, Coinbase, Binance.us, Gemini, you name all your US-based crypto firms. There's just not going to be any more staking. You can still buy your coins there. Everything's going to be fine, guys. Don't cry. There's no need to call Gary Gensler an antichrist. It's not the end of the world. You can still stake your coins. You just can't stake it on a U.S.-based exchange because, the conspiracy theory is the Securities and Exchange Commission doesn't want the competition for banks. That's fine. That might be part of it. But you also have to understand the other side of that coin. Everything that happened in crypto after the last couple of years, these exchanges are dirty, and eventually people staking on these exchanges will lose their money. These exchanges will do something stupid with people's funds that are staking, and they're going to lose everybody's money. So I do not have a problem with this. I really don't. And I'm a guy who's been in crypto for a while. This regulation doesn't affect me. I can still easily stake my coins, and people are making a big deal about it. It's a throw the baby out with the bathwater kind of dump. Like I said, it may have killed sentiment, so maybe we'll go back down to 20,000. I really don't know, and I really don't care. But I'm just sick of all the baby stuff I'm seeing now. It's just all a bunch of babies. BitBoy's crying, Rand Nooner's crying. Everybody's crying. It's like, but like I said, if you stake all your coins on a U.S.-based exchange and they lose all your money next year, all these same little babies, crackheads, are going to be blaming the SEC for not protecting them. What do you guys expect the SEC to be doing right now? Nothing? You expect them to let these exchanges do whatever they want after everything that's happened over the last couple years? It ain't happening, folks. There's going to be strict regulations on crypto. That's the way it is. If you're in the United States, you think you can get away with not paying taxes on your crypto, then you'll be in jail. If you don't want to pay your taxes on crypto, then just basically, just concede because you're going to be paying your taxes on crypto. All the exchanges are going to be reporting to the government. That's the way it works. Unless you use a VPN and use like a foreign exchange. And you're not going to be able to use these lending services or staking services or APY services in the US unless you use like a VPN and go somewhere else. But it's not that big of a deal because you can still stake your coins. So I don't really see this as a big deal. Now, going back to the markets, it has hurt the market. Bitcoin's down $1,000. Ethereum's down 6%. Ethereum's almost one of the biggest dumpers of the big altcoins. Everything's kind of on a little bit of a dump. Where do I see this going? I don't know. I think we could probably go down to like maybe 20,700, 20,900, and then get a huge bounce from there. Or this is it. Or we're going to bounce from here. I really don't know, nor do I care. Like I said, the Bitcoin halving's coming up next year. I expected extreme volatility. And this is the extreme volatility that you get for being in crypto. Again, I don't see this not being able to stake in the USA as a big deal. I think people need to get over it. I think people need to stop crying about it. No matter how much crying you can do, it's not going to help. The SEC has already said they don't want people staking in the US. If Coinbase wants to sue Gary Gensler, go for it. But it's not going to do anything. Because like I said, with everything that happened in crypto over the last couple of years, the only reason these exchanges want to offer staking is because they make a ton of money doing it. It's a high-risk thing to do, to stake on these exchanges. It just is. Or at least higher risk. And the SEC doesn't want to be caught with their pants down if everything crashes. And then people are going to say, well, why did you let us stake? Why did you let us stake, SEC? You weren't there to protect us. So like I said, folks, the SEC is damned if they do and damned if they don't. I don't love the SEC. I think, I don't think they're great. I think they've missed a lot of chances to go after scammers. I think even in the penny stock world, they kind of do a shitty job regulating that. But with everything that's happened with FTX, the billions of dollars lost, the people that committed suicide, yeah, you need to expect some some SEC regulations coming out this year. And if this is all they're going to do, that's not too bad. And from watching the Gary Gensler video on the SEC, it doesn't really sound like he's looking to like get rid of crypto or shut down these exchanges. He just doesn't want them to be at a stake. And people will either stake on their own or they'll take their money and put it on a foreign exchange using a VPN and they'll stake that way. I mean, it's time to get over it. Anyway, other than that, there's not too much news going on today. Personally, I'd like to see a little bit of recovery. I'd like to see us get back above $22,000. But, you know, like I said, that sentiment has started to like change a little bit. So we need some good news to come out to prop up the markets a little bit. But we are hanging out right now at that $21,000, 700 level. We've been here pretty much all day. So let's hope for a little bit of a bounce here. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we go back down to the $20,000 range before we shoot back up. All right, folks, this is crypto. This is how it goes. You get your big pumps, you get your big dumps. No need to cry, no need to bitch, no need to go after Gary Gensler. It is what it is. He's the regulator. And okay, you can't stake on centralized exchange in the United States. Boo-hoo, get over it. All right, like and subscribe.